Hey, and welcome back, everybody. And you might have guessed already that this isn't Bart Curtis, but it's a very reasonable facsimile, as this is Michael Curtis, Bart's son. And Michael actually made it to Warsaw before Bart did, in teaching and that kind of thing, and, of course, coaching. And, of course, Bart came a little bit later there, but we can talk about that at another time. But right now, Coach, I want to just compliment you and, the offensive line and Coach Jones. An outstanding job last night against a big physical Mishawaka team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we told the kids all week, the type of team we were going to see up front. I mean, they're big, physical, tough, and our kids came into it with that mentality, and they rose to the occasion, and they played bigger than they were. They played hard, and for the most part, we executed pretty well, and it led to a lot of good things. And our halfbacks blocked hard. Split ends did a better job on the perimeter. It was all around a good team performance.
Absolutely. And, since you guys have been here for the last 3 years here, too, the aggressiveness of the offensive line, and as everyone knows, and they all get tired of hearing it, I've been around a long time, and the way you guys teach the offensive line and how the low blocking schemes and the schemes themselves, I mean, that's just something that it's, first of all, I think it's college level kind of football teaching, and second of all, the way you and Coach Jones get the kids to respond and work at that and drill it, I mean, it's just outstanding.
Yeah, Coach Jones, it's been awesome working with him. He does a really good job bringing those guys in, getting them buying into the culture,
Right.
And these kids realize, hey, this is, if I don't own this thing, if I don't take it and run with it, I'm not going to make it happen. Right. And they've bought into it. We're getting better each week. We've had a couple of injuries, but the guys that have filled in, Isaiah Coutois has filled in the guard spot and done an admirable job. Trey Stuckey moving around from center to guard. Dallas Sanders taking a guard position. Then our tackles, Jay Kahn and Michael Ramirez, are growing and getting better and starting to show some physicality. So
right, and last year, those of us who are followers of Tiger football, last year's offensive line turned into a pretty awesome offensive line, and one of the big question marks coming into the season was, what is the offensive line going to do since they graduated them? Well, the answer is becoming more and more apparent. They are a work in progress, and they are getting the job done.
Yeah, I mean we've told them multiple times in the off seasons, hey, last year's group was set the bar high. As far as the camaraderie, the execution, the togetherness you needed that position, and they really bought in, played hard every snap. I mean, there were multiple games we didn't have a single loaf, from the O-line position group, and that's the standard that was set. And I think these guys are doing a great job trying to emulate that, playing hard every snap, finishing every play, and that's what we tell them. It's like play hard and play nasty.
Well, and I think also, speaking as a freshman offensive line coach, our kids, we show them the tape of the varsity kids, and I think, and I've talked to you on a couple occasions there, that they see that aggressiveness, and they want to emulate that, and that's huge for the freshman team, because as I've mentioned to you a couple times, I think this freshman group gets off the ball better than any before, and I think the main reason for that is because they've seen what the varsity offensive line can do. And one other thing I want to mention, the camaraderie and the brotherhood amongst them. I mean, they're proud to be Wild Hogs.
Absolutely.
So, and that's a key factor, and I don't care what sport you're coaching is they can feel the brotherhood, the love amongst one another, and why we're all out here, and that's really been huge. So, Coach, you got a big challenge coming up here with this Northridge bunch. They have not been scored on, is the way I understand it.
Yeah.
So
0.0 points per game.
And I know Coach Wagaman up there, and they play this game well, and it's going to be a great challenge for the Tigers.
Absolutely, yeah. We have a ton of respect for the Northridge program. And Coach Wagaman does things the right way.
Absolutely.
And I remember 2-3 years ago before my old man got here,
right,
looking to Northridge and kind of saying, like, hey, that's where we want to get to. And they just the physicality, the discipline, winning with guys that aren't the biggest
they
or
aren't
most
the biggest,
athletic,
best
but
athletes, but
they play hard.
They play with their heart,
Yeah,
and absolutely. So,
And, excited.
yeah. So it's going to be a week of preparation. Let's talk just for a moment about preparation for the varsity as you get through it there. We have something that you call SOS, which is the same old stuff, just since we're on TV here. But that's a routine, and there is a routine that the line, offensive line, and all of the different groups, but the offensive line is what we're looking at here right now, goes through to develop and their technique and to execute.
Yeah, I mean it's something that the kids come to expect. They know our everyday drills. They know why we're doing them, and it's great then to see when we're watching it on film. Hey, that's where
there's
it pays off.
See,
that's where
mm-hmm.
that's where our fire out series comes into play. That's why we worked via releases so hard this week, and it's cool for them to have a light bulb moment, because then
absolutely all makes sense.
It makes the day-to-day things not mundane.
Yeah.
But this is really important. This is why we have to do this stuff.
Absolutely.
So they're doing a great job, and we've got a lot of good technicians who are getting better at it.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, thanks for spending some time with us here and plugging in for the Bart Curtis Show. I guess we could call us the Bart Curtis Junior Show, but you're not a junior. But anyway, Coach, thanks for being with us. The best of luck as you get prepared for Northridge, and we're looking forward to a good week of practice and some good results up at Middlebury.
Absolutely. Hey, it's going to be a great week to go 1-0. Let's get it done.
Absolutely. We'll be back with more of the Bart Curtis Show right after this.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you. Hey, and welcome back to the Bart Curtis Show. We're talking now to a senior linebacker, Zach Ransbottom. And Zach, you've been out of commission here for a while, and you have been missed. And last night you got to get back out on the field. That had to feel pretty good to you.
Oh, it felt good to be back, and
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
it is a little bit indescribable, because I know how hard you guys work, and there's a real brotherhood amongst you guys, and it's an emotional thing for you guys not to be able to be on the field, not to be with your teammates and that kind of thing. So it's a great thing to be able to have you back there. What do you think makes the bond so special amongst you guys?
Well, we've been working a lot together. We practice. We're with each other all the time,
right?
And we just came out with a big stop at the end and sealed the deal.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The Mishawaka game there. When you look at it on, I'm up in the press box, of course, on radio, and you're looking at the physical difference between the teams, and we did not match up with them. I mean, you guys are physically smaller than them, but I think that really says a lot about the technique and about all you guys working for the greater good for the team. And I think that really shows up, and it showed up more than once since I've been around Coach Bart Curtis and the crew. Tell us a little bit about your responsibilities out there and what you do, because a lot of people don't necessarily know that.
For the linebacker position, we had to watch the halfback and just watch whatever he does and
kind of mirror him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then of course you guys got jobs to scrape and get and fill the gaps and all that kind of stuff, and the backside and all that kind of good stuff, which is it's a very busy position. Linebackers are typically your most active guys that are on the defensive alignment, the force unit in front there, and it showed up big time last night to you guys. First half, definitely there were some stumbles, but I thought the adjustments you guys made for the second half and the way you guys really attacked them, the second half was huge. Really was. All right, so let's talk for a moment here about your future plan for the team here. What are you guys' goals? Now, this next bunch of guys that we're going against have not been scored on yet, and we all know that. And as a freshman coach, and that was our one loss, was to the Northridge bunch. I know Coach Tom Wagaman well and that coaching staff, and they do a great job. So this is going to be a big challenge for you guys coming up.
For one of the goals is to win conference, and to win conference we got to beat Northridge and them next week.
Yep. Both teams 2-0 in the conference, and it's going to be an incredible battle. Plus, I don't know if you know it or not, you're going to be on their brand new football field. So that's going to be cool. Yeah. So. Well, hey, Zach, thanks a lot for spending some time. I'm so proud of you guys, and the community is, and the responsibility that goes along with that as being a young adult senior, that's a responsibility you guys can wear with pride, because you've really earned your way into this. And I think one thing that makes a defensive unit so tight, and this is true overall for the whole team, is you guys work so hard and put so much time into it. I once had a kid tell me that would wrestle for me, he goes, I'm not going to work this hard and lose. It wouldn't be any fun. Mm-hmm. So I think that's really true. So I wish you the best of luck here as you move on towards this next week and getting prepared for Northridge and the road trip up there. And good luck to the Tigers, and thanks for spending some time with us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We'll be back with more of the Bart Curtis Show right after this. And welcome back, everyone. This is going to be the last segment of the show for today. Coach had some conflicts, and I had some conflicts, so we're able to get him on tape here. And, Coach, let's just start, with the game itself. Just what a wonderful victory for the kids and for the program. And I've been around you now for about 3 years, and you have a habit of making these kind of things happen with everybody else involved. I know that, but where they're really program changing, games. And I think last night was, as a number of people up there with 46 saying, man, this is an instant classic. So anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you that every time that Channel 46 seems to hang around, somehow we need to get on their payroll, because I don't know what they make off these games, but every game that we're involved in seems to be an exciting nail biter to the end, with lots of conflict. You use the term conflict.
Sure.
I think back 2 years ago at Northwood, we take the last drive of the game down, score with a minute to go for two. It didn't work out. Last year, our sectional championship game was a really well-played game. And then Friday night, it was a shootout as well. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Not at the time. There were times throughout the course of that contest, Dave, where if you'd have checked my vitals, and probably Dr. Nabnett, my individual physician up in South Bend, might have said, "This is really not good.
This is not good for you.
This is not good for you." And but it worked out. One of those games where I'm just kind of, I don't want to say I'm glad it's over, but I'm glad it's over.
Right.
We talked about it last week. It had some emotions because of my family's history at that school and in that town. It was nice. Sarah, my wife, went over at halftime and took cookies.
Oh yeah,
kind of her peace offering. Her famous cookies.
Absolutely.
Took cookies over to some of the friends that had, placed orders. On a side note, if she ever decided to go into that as a business, I could retire before 62.
Absolutely.
And then she got to hang out with some friends over there and reconnect. And I'm sure that stirred up, some emotions on her part.
Sure.
She's been, speaking of wives, she's been right by my side for 30th year as a head coach. Right. She has missed a total of 5 games in 30 years, out of 330 games or whatever, and the first thing, after the game, she comes down, gives me a big hug, and says, "Hey, nice job, old man. You still got it in you."
So
that was it was a fun night, but Dave is like everything else, it's yesterday's news, and it's time to move forward.
Absolutely.
But certainly we'll pack that one into the memory banks, and maybe at the Christmas party we can pull that out and watch it. Who knows?
Absolutely. Well, Coach, one thing too that I was really, and I thought a lot about this with watching the kids play together. I mean, seriously, and I said something to Michael about this. We were outmanned by these guys. I mean, there's no question. It was a big physical team, and yet the ability to take a group of kids that are average to maybe a little bit above average to perform collectively to beat a team like that, that's just something that's kind of magic, I think.
Well, we're going to be outmanned in almost every contest. So, and you know what? So what?
Yeah.
If you set the mindset that you're not outmanned, that no matter what, The only team that can beat you is you. And if you execute at a high level in all phases of the game, you're going to be in every game. And, you know, if you look at the box score, you know, 32 points given up, four two-pointers by them that were basically uncontested walk-ins by Justin Fisher, who, by the way, he's going to be something special. And he's only a junior.
Yeah.
I could see him playing for Air Force, Army, Navy, Citadel.
Yeah,
he is a, and I remember watching him grow up through my youth camps and our MFL and then junior high, and you know, student of the game. I know the family well, so but yeah, you know, it's fun to do things that people say you shouldn't be able to do. that to me is really what gets me up in the morning, when, you know, proving people wrong when they say, hey, you shouldn't be able to do this, or you're overmatched here. And you know, speaking of that, we've got another matchup where this Friday we're against Northridge, where they are a big, physical, well-executing team. Haven't been scored on yet, Dave.
Yeah.
In 3 games, they have not been scored on.
Yeah, Coach Wagaman has got a very storied past as far as it goes to his coaching and what he can do, and him and his staffs, no question.
Yeah, but you know what? It's we challenge our defense. So you look at that box score, 40-32. 32 points is a whole lot more than we want to give up.
Sure.
If we give up 32 Friday night, we're not going to win.
Right.
But here's the deal: we went into this game knowing that. And challenge our defense, get one stop, because we felt like we could move the ball a little bit on Mishawaka. We didn't know we'd score 6 times out of 6 possessions.
Right, yeah, wow, that was remarkable.
That's pretty good average.
Absolutely.
It felt like a tennis match there for a while.
Yeah.
Deuce, add in.
Yeah.
Deuce, add out. Deuce, add in. And we finally got, what do they call that, the very last one? Match, I guess, or set. Yeah, it felt that way, that, you know, whoever had the ball last was going to turn out winning this thing. But we challenged our defense, get one stop, let's steal a possession, either on an onside kick, a pop-up kick, or hopefully they turn the ball over, or we create a turnover. And, you know, we got 3 legitimate stops and intercepted a pass. So we, you know, we had 4 opportunities. They had the ball 7 times, scored 4. We had the ball 6 times, scored 6. So we really, in many ways, exceeded what we had set as a challenge for our defense. And obviously, we're running around out there with a lot of kids that don't even have their driver's permits.
Right.
But we're never going to make excuses.
Nope.
You better grow up in a hurry. You know, we've got some kids playing varsity football that ought to be getting on a bus and going to Mishawaka at night and playing JV football.
Right.
But it is where we are currently at with our injury situation. And certain positions and whatnot.
Yeah, well, and that's the expectation things that we talked about before we got on camera here. That, you know, the expectations are set high, and the kids are offered that challenge, and they step up to the plate and take it. So, just overall, defensively, especially the second half, they really woke up and really did a tremendous job. And then the offense, of course, moved the ball well against these guys. And again, that was with a banged up offensive line. So that's great, good stuff.
It is, and you know, like they say about excuses, and I won't go into grave detail for the sake of the audience. But excuses stink.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
Everybody's got them, and they all stink.
Right.
And you know, we're not going to fall into that. We are not going to take any situation and make it a woe is me, or give ourselves an alibi to not succeed. And I think that's vital. And if you set that mindset with the parents, with the kids, with the community. Perfect example. You know, a couple years ago, we had a situation where we went west of here to play the red and white.
Yeah.
And, you know, there were some situations that did not work out for us.
Right.
Officiating wise.
Right.
Not an excuse.
No.
We had the ball and the lead in the fourth quarter, and we didn't put them away.
Right.
So if you let somebody hang around and you let the officials get involved in a game, shame on you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Coach, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I know you're busy, but just briefly, you've had a little bit of time, I know, yesterday to look at some of the Northridge stuff. Well, what do they do well?
Execute. Don't make a lot of mistakes, Dave. They well coached, as we talked about with Coach Wagaman. Big up front again. Yeah, big up front physically. They've got a huge fullback who also plays defensive end. Number 1. I'm better with numbers than names.
Yeah,
their quarterback, number 15, is very shifty. Mm-hmm. He would. He looks like a flexbone quarterback, and they are running some true triple option out of the short gun.
They've seen the light.
Well, maybe not.
Yeah.
We'll find out. And defensively, as I mentioned, they've not yet been scored on, Dave, and they are big, fast, physical on defense. And Tigers are going to have their work cut out for them Friday, and we need to have a great week of practice.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, I'm sure that it will be a good week of practice there. We got some good weather coming in and stuff, so there's no problems there. And go 1-0. Like Michael said when I talked to him earlier.
That's the plan every week, and you do what you think is best throughout the week to try and make that happen. And, sometimes it works out for you, sometimes it doesn't. One thing I think that we're starting to do, who did you have on as a player this week? Did you have Mason Martz?
No, it was, put me on the spot here, but it's a Ransbottom.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Zach Ransbottom made a huge play on a 4th and 11. That thing was going, because I'll tell you, if he doesn't make that play, at the very least, it's a first down.
Right.
But, I want to, when things go well, when things go poorly, we call kids out. When things go well, we need to call kids out. I thought Mason Martz played as good a solid a football game as since I've been here Friday night. Wasn't perfect. Yeah. But I tell you what, he took some ownership of the defense, made a huge stop on 4th and 1 late in the half. Because if they go up 32-19, because they're going to score if they get that first down.
Right.
If they go up 32-19, I'm not sure we can recover from 2 scores. So, I think he has played really, really well, and is starting to take little ownership with our defense.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, best of luck as you get ready and prepare for Northridge. We do go to Northridge up on a brand new field, as a matter of fact. I think we're going to get to christen it with our presence. I'm not sure about that.
Plymouth played there.
Oh, did they play there? Yeah. Okay. So at any rate, it's going to be an exciting time. We encourage everyone. I know tickets are hard to get with this COVID thing, but get to the athletic office, get tickets to support. I thought our fans were super at this game against Mishawaka. Good attendance there as much as it possibly could be. So encourage everyone to get out and support the Tigers. And Coach, best of luck, and thanks for being with us today.
Thanks, Dave. As always, go Tigers.
Absolutely.